Hello, fellow detectives. Okay, last time, our three intrepid adventurers made their escape across the graveyard on the far side of town, and behind the Twin Peaks of Arthurton the sun began to rise. But this night had not yet ended. Beneath them, the ground shook and grumbled. Deep in the bowels of Arthurton, something stirred. So we found out that Arthurton was somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be. It had disappeared. Jenny recounted the thrilling story of her entire adventure. She told Susie and Keith about Professor Zazzer and his experiments, the truth behind the tragic accident in the mines, and how she discovered that her father was alive. But she left out one crucial detail: the town that disappeared. How would they react to such an unfathomable revelation? Would they even believe her? She wasn't sure she believed it herself. What an incredible adventure! Although I think the greatest discovery today has been our friendship. You never stop, do you? All these trails have really brought us together. Trials. And now that you and Keith are friends again, we can form our very own mystery-solving club. Keith's not sure about that. Jenny's not sure about that. It's just a shame we don't unmask the man in black. So what's our next step, fearless leader? There's something about this case that still doesn't add up. I need to find my mom before the cops do. But she could be anywhere. No. She's gone to Widow's Drop. Where? Widow's Drop, but I have no idea where that is. It certainly is not on any map I've seen. That's because it's not a place. What? Yeah. It's a plant. My dad had one grew in his greenhouse. He had to separate it from all the other plants. They all started to shrivel up. Have you ever felt a splash of pure inspiration? The sudden feeling of everything falling into place. It's the moment a great detective lives for. Jenny has had a realization. An epiphany. Keith, what day do you take out the trash? What? What day does the garbage man come? Oh, Friday. Why? Of course. It was right there the whole time. Jenny. I know where my mom is. Jenny. And I know who killed Dean Strasberry. Jenny, look out. We would get another concussion. Boom. Yeah, pink moped blowing through. We survived. Yeah, we made it. I have to go back. Go back? But we just got out. A little birdie told me I'd find 3 unruly kids out after curfew. Oh no. Darn it. Stealing, breaking and entering, destruction of property. You're all in a heap of trouble. Jenny, I can't say I'm surprised. But Keith, Susie, I expected more from you. I'm ruined. Cackle. Sheriff, this is the station. Are you there? Go ahead, station. Susie, Keith, I need you to create a distraction. What? There's no time to explain. Where are you going? You'll just have to trust me. Okay. No. Susie, please. No. Not unless you say it. Say what? After everything we've been through, you know. What are you talking about? It's hardly the time for this. You told me to stand up for myself, so that's what I'm doing. Hold on a sec. Enough chatter. Get your sorry butts over here now. We depend on each other. Admit it, Jenny. Come on, Jenny. It's not a big deal. Just say it. This is your last warning. I'm not going to tell you again. Of all the challenges our tiny hero had faced, this was perhaps her toughest. You aren't alone, Jenny LeClue. You don't need to pretend anymore. As hard as it was to say it, Jenny knew deep in her heart it was true. Fine. Susie Glatz, you are my friend. And Susie's eyes shimmer. Thank you, friend. Now, let's get you out of here. Yeah, I've got them safe and sound. I'm bringing them in now. What the? You'll never catch us, copper. And Keith goes by on his bike. Sorry, Mr. LeClue. Crackle. Well, do you have them or not? I thought I did. Where did she go? Where did we go? We are back in the graveyard. we pulling out a crypt? We're pulling the lid off a crypt of Dean Strasberry. Somebody going to prove? I bet it's our mother. This is kind of grim. Somebody is injecting him with some stuff. If you're squeamish, I'll just look away. Is he not dead? Is that what's going on? Does he just appear to be dead? He's been infused with some substance that seems to be bringing his pallor back. He looks normal again. And he's going to open his eyes. Oof, my head. Thank goodness it worked, said the mystery person. Oh, how wonderful to hear your voice. I was having the strangest dreams. What's wrong? ... I almost didn't make it. But you did. Now we've got a lot of work to do. It is our mom. She helped Dean Strasberry. I knew it! Uh-oh. Jenny. Surprised to see me? I'm only a child after all. What is she? How did you? It was really quite simple. Once I realized that Mr. Strasberry knew he was going to die. What proves that Dean knew he was going to die? Huh. The clock? The garbage? The spoon? Lunch with Keith. I'm gonna guess it's the spoon. And the plant. I spoke to the dean on Thursday and noted he was unusually disorganized. Something was weighing on his mind. The day before, he had taken out the trash. Why would a man so preoccupied remind himself to take out the trash 2 days early, unless he knew he wasn't going to be able to do it on Friday? This was the key piece of information I needed. Once I considered the possibility that Mr. Strasberry knew he was going to die on Thursday, everything started to fall into place. But consider this, if someone knew they were going to die, wouldn't they do everything in their power to escape their fate? And yet the dean didn't. There was only one explanation. He planned his death. What proves that he staged his own death? We've got plants in a garden, his crazy neck, the fascinating flora field guide, the dean's... Oh, clue not found. I see. So the dean knew about the plants and had them in his greenhouse. I guess we're going to go with the field guide. But maybe it is the stuff on his shoes. Let's try that. I'm guessing most of these work. It's no secret that the dean is an avid gardener. Indeed, he is renowned for his work on exotic plants and their unusual properties. And in the library, despite the apparent cause of death being electrocution, I noticed strange marks covering his neck. His face was discolored and his skin was shriveled. You knew you were going to die, Mr. Strasberry. Poison. You knew because you made it yourself from one of your plants, a poison that you had an antidote for. That would be the method, but you couldn't work alone. You needed an accomplice, someone to revive you when the time was right. What proves Mum and the dean were working together? Well, they had a meeting. Mum and CJ, the vials, Keith and the plant, the when she's in the bed. I don't remember what that was about. I'm going to go with the plant guide and maybe... Oh, the vials would be good. Let's put this over here. Let's make a deduction here. Is this enough? So we're missing a clue as well already for the other one. In the basement of my house, on my dad's old dusty desk, I found a recently used vial. The residue was purple, the same color as the marks on the dean's neck. I also found Dean Strasberry's book about dangerous and exotic plants. You plotted together and staged Mr. Strasberry's death. It was a simple scheme. Poisoned him with a plant and return after the funeral to revive him. You had intended the death to appear natural, but not everything went according to plan. What went wrong with their plan? The ring. The mom. The broken thing under the wheel. I don't remember what that was about. The faulty identification card. Was that? Faculty identification card. Okay, and her mom getting into jail. Well, he didn't plan on the mom getting in jail. And the broken thing, I guess the ring, because the ring got caught. After the poison was administered, the dean intended to give Mum his ring, but he accidentally dropped it and got stuck in the electrified track of the ladder. When he bent down to retrieve it, he was electrocuted, throwing him from the balcony. No one was supposed to think Mum was involved in the dean's death. And now, stuck in jail, she had no choice but to entrust CJ to revive the dean. He was her last hope. Getting caught hadn't been part of the plan. Ho ho ho, quite remarkable, Jenny. And you worked all that out by yourself? Yes, that's how you did it, but the real question is why? Well, that's a bit more complicated, I'm afraid. It was a rhetorical question, Mr. Strasberry. I know you're working together, but first, I have to tell you about... She didn't say aliens, did she? About what happened to everybody. Oh, this is exciting. What an incredible adventure this turned out to be. Jenny's growing up and discovering her full potential, and to think, I did it all without anybody dying. Our agent's calling us. Hello? Richard. What did you think of the new scenes? Aren't they wonderful? I beg your pardon? Trick you? Certainly not. But don't you see, it all works out perfectly this way. I can already picture where the next book will start. You're not serious. But I didn't promise anything. But there must be another way. Just give me more time. Cancelled? Richard, please. Richard. Hello? Hello? He can go Kickstarter. He'll be fine. It's no good. They won't publish it unless someone dies. But I can't do it. I just can't. Come on, Arthur. Jenny's whole world hangs in the balance. Decades of work. It can't all end now. Sigh. I have to. It's like Jenny's mom always says, a great detective knows the right decision is often the hardest to make. And I am a great author of detective stories. But I can't pick. What should I do, Rufus? Brilliant. Yes. You're always right, old friend. I'll let fate decide. Uh-oh. Don't make us choose. Don't make us choose. Don't make us choose. Is it going to be CJ? Is it going to be... Here goes. Is it going to be Susie? We don't want any of it. It's going to be something abstract. We're going to kill off something that's not exactly a character. Who dies? Oh gosh. What? Who dies? Do. Can't go anywhere else now. Okay. So Jenny, the dean, or our mom. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The dean already died in a way, so maybe it would be appropriate. We can't kill our mom. We can't kill Jenny. I mean, she's the hero of the story. It's going to be Dean Strasberry. Sorry, Dean. You are the one who's going to get it, bud. Fate has spoken, but is she certain? Once this choice is made, there's no turning back. That's it. Dean Strasberry dies. Nobody's going to pick Jenny. That's bananas. Well, that was easier than I thought. It's the only way the scene can end. The ending, the book... needs. Is it that we weren't successful and then suddenly the poison takes over? As I was saying, what was that? No more interruptions. The tremors were getting more violent and more frequent. Please, I'm in the middle of an astonishing denouement. Everyone in town thinks CJ is crazy, a madman, spouting wild theories about aliens and hidden forces at work in Arthurton. But all the strange phenomena he's seen are real, and the culprits are men, not monsters. What do I know about Arthurton's secret history? Okay, there is the skeleton hand. There is the alien pods. There is the grave digger. There is the notes we found. And there is that show happening. I'm going to go with the weird pods for sure. And maybe the notes? Let's go with that. They're all pretty good, really. Arthurton is built on top of some kind of energy source, something special. I uncovered the secret laboratories of Professor Zazer. He ran experiments to study unique properties of Arthurton's resource, and his research was funded by a shady organization called the Council of Three. One of the experiments went tragically wrong and caused the collapse of the quartz mines. They covered it up and blamed the miners, and yet the experiments didn't stop. Instead, they built an even bigger facility. Years after the accident in the mines, an even greater tragedy struck Arthurton, only this time the townspeople didn't know. I don't fully understand it, but something happened to the whole town. And wherever we were, we aren't there anymore. The rest of the world thinks we disappeared. At first, I thought I was solving two separate mysteries, but then it hit me like a ton of used books. A ton of books. The two were inextricably linked, and that's how I know your motive for staging the Dean's death. Why did Mom and Dean Strasberry stage the Dean's death? Well, it probably has something to do with our dad. The report about the... Oh, he had his notes there. And the key card. So we've got the key card and this are the same thing. And I think we got the report about what's going on. And I think the video about our dad. Dad wasn't working for the university. He was working on Zazer's machines, all under the watchful eye of the Council of Three. The Dean is part of the Council of Three, or at least he works for them. Through her own investigation, Mum concluded that Dad had died under suspicious circumstances. She confronted the Dean. Racked with guilt, he confessed and begged her forgiveness. Instead of letting anger cloud her judgment, Mum saw an opportunity. And together, you concocted a plan to bring down the organization from the inside. What a brilliant mind you have, Jenny LeClue. Julie, I believe you underestimated this girl. You could have gotten yourself killed, but I didn't. But what if you had? I'm not a kid anymore. I have to make my own choices. A flower cannot blossom without light. Jenny had risked everything to save her mum. I'm sorry, Jenny. We'll accept the apology. You were running out of time to save Mr. Strasberry. I was trying to protect you. I know. That we're going to punch her. That's not good. No, it's a hug. It's a hug. Sigh, I should have trusted you. But you were wrong. Oh? I just apologized. No, not about that. Everyone presumed Dad died in the lab explosion. So did I, until today. But then I started finding secret messages all over town. They led me to a strange secret room under the graveyard. And there, on a small television, I saw him. Henry? Dad is alive. But he's trapped on the other side, and he's been trying to contact us the whole time. He made it back? Then the experiment worked. Exactly. But if he made it back, that means we can all get back. We need to get to the machine right away. No, first we need to find Professor Zazer. There's some business going on down below. Way down below. We got emergency release 1, emergency release 2, emergency release 3. Select wisely. Well, how would we know anything? I don't even know. Like, what are we basing this on? Council of 3. Let's choose 3. Nope, pull the lever. I don't know what that's going to do. Why would I know? I feel like the same thing would happen no matter what. And why would fate be in my hands? There is a giant sphere that looks like it's about to go thermonuclear here. Or it's about to pull the town back to where it needs to be. And send a giant pulse, spiraling upwards through the layers of soil, seeming to scramble and rewrite history itself. Dean Straussberry has disappeared. Has he gone back? Has he been killed as we thought? We don't know. Jenny LeClue, Detective Who, to be continued. In loving memory of my mum, Anne Fearington, 1945 to 2018. Thank you for playing. We hope you enjoyed the journey, and remember, a great detective leaves no puzzle unsolved. Until next time, Joe and Ben. A game by Joe Russ and Ben Tillett. And I knew we were heading into a situation where we weren't going to be getting a complete ending. I knew we were going to get it to be continued. But I'm quite happy with this. I feel okay about that. I do feel like it would have been good to know that this was part one. It wasn't. I read a review shortly after I started recording it, and I went, "What? This is part one?" But that's all right. I'm fine with that. I do wish I think a lot of people would have wished they would have known. It doesn't affect it. I would have played it anyway because it's a beautiful and wonderful little game. It's a wonderful story more than anything, really. And I think they did a great job with it. So definitely congratulations to everybody involved with this. It's quite the thing. I normally do not like... I wouldn't even call this... it's not a point and click. This is more of a story game, I guess. I don't know. This isn't a genre I typically would even play at all. But there's something about the style of it, something about the whole kind of world they created that just looks so irresistible. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was quite fun. I hope everybody watching enjoyed as well. I liked it because it wasn't too puzzly in a way. It was either I like to go all puzzle or not puzzle, and this one was it was fine. I was happy going not puzzle. And while we have some feelings about where we think it's going to go, it was I think an interesting enough yarn. I think they took an interesting direction in having it as a story being written by an author as it's going. Gives them some latitude to play around with things and to be clever and to be very meta. And I thought that was interesting. It was a good take and a good strategy on things. I'm looking forward to part 2. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for that. I don't know how far along they were on part 2 before they even released part 1 or what the story is. But everything about it, I think, is quite well done. And we'll see. So we'll be definitely doing part 2 when that comes out. No idea when that will be, but excellent job. And we fade to black. All right. We will see you all next time. Till then, bye-bye.